Hello everyone, back tuning into Snow Watch. So we've got some more snow coming up tonight and particularly tomorrow morning across the northern part of the country. So down in the south we're going to mostly have rain, but from sort of North Wales into northern England up to southern parts of Scotland, there we do have a risk of some quite heavy snow again tomorrow morning. A bit of a dumping, perhaps up to 2 or 3 inches of snow in some places. And although there will be a late transition in some areas back towards rain on the back edge of this snow, in a lot of areas I think probably just keep the precipitation as snow for much of the day before it eventually dies out. So not much happening to wash away the snow cover. After that it will start to get milder though as we run up towards the new year. So I'll talk you through the latest situation with the snow that's coming up tomorrow in this first video in Snow Watch. I'm going to try and get 3 videos in today, so once this is done and posted, we're going to have a look at the weather next week to 10 days. You'll be able to find that video this afternoon on the homepage. And then tonight, I'm going to try and do a GFS Ensembles watch, going through all 21 members of the GFS Ensemble, 22 if you count the operational run of the GFS, of course. Go through all GFS Ensemble members and see what they're showing through the early part of January. Will we keep this relatively cold weather going, or will we revert to something milder? You'll find out in the Ensembles watch tonight. But it all begins right now with Snow Watch. So this is the latest situation in terms of the radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com. You can see that we've got wintry showers up across central north parts of Scotland, and a few wintry showers coming through the Irish Sea down into northwest England and North Wales. Elsewhere, a lot of dry weather until we run into this rain down across the Republic of Ireland and just starting to threaten the very far southwestern tip of the country. This is a sign of moisture moving in off the Atlantic. And as that moisture moves into the cold air, if I show you the dew point, this is what dew point's showing. This is a reflection of the temperatures down on the surface. So as that moisture tonight and tomorrow moves into these cold dew points, that's where we get the risk of snow, particularly across central and northern parts of the country. So this is the facts chart from the UK Met Office. This is the human interpretation of models by the forecasters at the Met Office. This is for midnight tonight. We've got an occluding front across Ireland and the far southwestern tip of the country. At midnight, actually, we're still just about under this little bump of high pressure. So it'll be a very frosty start to the night. Really cold, actually, through the early part of the night. And then temperatures will begin to lift up later in the night as cloud and precipitation moves in from off the Atlantic along this occluding front. It'll start to lift the temperature up, but of course as this occlusion moves into that cold air, it may well produce some snow. So this is how things look at midday tomorrow, midday Friday. Low pressure then is centred across southwestern parts of Scotland. Now to the south and west of this, we're bringing in slightly milder air from off the Atlantic. So I think for much of central southern parts of England and Wales, this is mostly rain. There might be a few flakes of snow across parts of, say, the Midlands, eastern England, on the leading edge of this front. But I think it very quickly transitions back to rain. But once we get up to around the North Midlands northwards and North Wales northwards, I think then we keep it mainly as snow, and some of that could be really quite heavy, particularly around this area just here, which is northern England and southwestern parts of Scotland, because there we maintain the cold air throughout this situation, and we've got the 2 air masses meeting. The milder air and the cold air are meeting along this sort of point here, and so that's where we have the risk of some quite significant and substantial snow through the course of tomorrow morning. Now by midnight on Saturday, that system's getting out of the way, and then we're starting to push up some generally milder air from off the Atlantic along these warm fronts. They're beginning to move in. So as we go through into the New Year weekend, it does look as though the temperatures will start to recover. That's how things look by midday on Saturday. And then we're pretty much away from northern Scotland anyway, pretty much all in a less cold, I wouldn't necessarily say milder, but certainly a less cold run of Atlantic westerly winds, and those winds should see us through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as well. We'll cover that in today's second video, looking at the next week to 10 days, of course. So this is how the GFS is picking things up tomorrow. So just here is where we've got our weather system moving in from the Atlantic to the north and east of this. It is still cold. To the west and south of it is turning less cold. And as we go through to midday, you'll notice that it's a real struggle to push this system across the country. So as this system is moving into the cold air, it's having a real job to dislodge it. And you can tell that by the elongation in the isobars, telling us that a bit of a stall is actually taking place along the frontal system. So the low pressure is still, by the time we get through to tomorrow afternoon, this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, that low pressure is still struggling actually to clear the east coast. So it still looks pretty cold to the north and the eastern part of the country, even into tomorrow afternoon, turning less cold to the south and to the southwest as well. There's the upper air temperatures at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, showing that the -5 isosphere is gradually receding up towards Scotland. So it is turning less cold, but certainly nothing to get excited about. The temperatures are going to be pretty chilly tomorrow, even down in the south and the southwest. This is the precipitation type forecast from the weatheroutlook.com. You can find a link to the Weather Outlook on the links page. So this is how the Weather Outlook, the GFS I should say, at Weather Outlook, is seeing things for midnight tonight. So most places are dry, cold and frosty at that point. Just got some showery bursts of rain down in the far south and the southwest too. If we run through into tomorrow morning, so it takes us 6 o'clock in the morning, we've got rain coming in across much of Wales and southwest England, but that is moving into the cold air. So mostly rain through the Midlands, although the ground will be very cold, so that might give a little bit of freezing rain, icy conditions through parts of the Midlands. But from North Wales and the North Midlands northwards, then we are seeing snow turning up. So through much of northwestern England into southwest of Scotland, got heavy outbreaks of snow, mostly rain across Northern Ireland. That's how things look at 9 o'clock in the morning. So pouring with rain for many parts of central southern England and Wales. But again, from northern England into southern and southwest of Scotland, a real snow event looks like it's going on. Some heavy outbreaks of snow, probably giving accumulations, even down to low levels in those areas through the course of the morning. That takes us to midday. Still wet for much of central southern eastern England, but again northern England into southern southwest Scotland, outbreaks of snow continues. Not transitioning, you'll notice, back to rain up to midday tomorrow anyway. And then that snow carries on pushing northwards through the rest of Scotland. Again, no real transition back to rain. A little bit of sleety stuff perhaps through parts of northern England before it dies out, and the rest of England and Wales seeing that wet weather clearing away. And then we go at 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. Snow continues across Scotland, although it is beginning to die out then. And then by the end of tomorrow, we're bringing more wet weather back in from off the Atlantic Ocean. That's bringing heavy rain back to England and Wales. And again, on the northern edge of that, and it's a little bit further northwards this time, but for the north of northern England into southwest of Scotland, that's suggesting another period of snow is possible there at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And that snow continues across Scotland into Saturday. Elsewhere, further south, it is turning less cold and even milder. So then we're looking at just mostly wet weather moving in. And this wet weather then pushes across the country through New Year's Eve. By then, just a suggestion that there could be some snow across central and northern parts of Scotland. That's mainly for elevation. Elsewhere, we're just looking at rain as the temperature lifts up by a few degrees. That's how the GFS is seeing things. What about the high resolution pairs model? This is, again, at midnight tonight. It'll be very frosty and cold up to midnight. And then in the second half of the night, this band of wet weather moves in from off the Atlantic. This is how things look at 8 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow, where we've got outbreaks of rain through the Irish Sea across Northern Ireland, and then coming down into northwest England and central and North Wales. It's suggesting some snow there. Further south of that, generally rain. Notice a few little white blobs coming through the Midlands, so there might be a few snowflakes even through parts of the Midlands during the early morning tomorrow, but there it should very quickly turn back to rain, although it could be quite icy for a time as that rain falls onto cold surfaces. That's how things look through the morning. So it's really from North Midlands into northern England and southern southwest Scotland, same as with the GFS, but we've got snow. You can see that by the white area elsewhere further south, we're generally looking at spells of wet weather through the afternoon. Tomorrow, that snow pushes up towards Scotland and begins to fizzle out as it does so. And then, as we go into Saturday, more wet weather starts to pile in from off the Atlantic. And you'll notice that again does turn to snow, especially across Scotland. So it could be quite a snowy couple of days, actually, for parts of Scotland. Elsewhere, further south, it is rain, especially as we get towards the new year, where even in northern England, we're basically just looking at quite a bit of rain pushing through up to New Year's Eve anyway. This is the high resolution WRF model, so this is starting off at midnight. Again, a little bit of showery weather down in the far southwest, but most places very cold, frosty and icy through the first half of tonight. And then this wet weather moves in from off the Atlantic Ocean. So as we go through to 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, you'll see that got heavy outbreaks of rain, really bright colours there across Wales and pushing into the Midlands. The white hatched area is where it's turning to snow, so that's across parts of North Wales and also into probably the North Midlands, and then going further northwards into northern England as well. Let's carry on through the morning, and this is how things look as we get to 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. Very heavy snow there being suggested through northern England. Got those bright colours, and it's a white hatched area, so a proper snow event going on through northern England and going up in towards the far south and southwest of Scotland as well. Further south of that, through the rest of the Midlands into East Anglia, southeast England, maybe a few snowflakes on the leading edge of this wet weather, but it is generally rain then through much of central, southern and eastern England and Wales. That clears away through the course of the afternoon, but we do keep some snow going, albeit dying out through the afternoon across parts of northeast England and also Scotland. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon as well. So southern Scotland down to northeast England, still keeping some snow going there, albeit it is dying out in nature. By the time you get through to 7 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, more wet weather's beginning to move back in towards the far southwest of England. I haven't got the ECM WF up, so I'll just very quickly show you that. By the way, the Euro 4 model at Weather Online, which I normally include in Snowwatch, that isn't updating at the moment at Weather Online, so something's gone wrong there, so no Euro 4 for this update. I'll very quickly get this morning's ECMWF run up. It's a little bit cumbersome to use this website. It's weather.us. You can find a link to weather.us on the links page. I've just got to get the parameter up next, which is going to be snow depth. This is a good tutorial anyway, if anybody wants to know how to use this website. So we're starting off today with the light snow cover that we still got from the snow event that occurred yesterday morning across parts of the country. And let's run through, so we'll go into the rest of today, and I'm going to try and get tonight's situation up. So we are seeing by tonight snow cover beginning to appear in the west, and as we run through you'll find that this snow cover deepens, particularly focusing through the course of tomorrow morning. This is taking us up to tomorrow morning, focusing again on southern and southwest Scotland, down into northern, some parts of Wales, particularly at elevation, and little bits across parts of the Midlands and some eastern parts of England as well. That takes us through to Saturday, when again the snow cover is mainly through central and northern parts of the country. Down in the south, we mostly look at rain. So all models appear to be in agreement. There is the chance of snow again tomorrow, and it's focusing, I think, on North Wales, particularly over the hills and mountains, the North Midlands, again over high ground, and then up to northern England. Proper snow event there probably tomorrow morning, and even down to low levels you could get a covering of snow across northern England tomorrow morning, and then that gets up to southern southwestern parts of Scotland as well through tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon we see the snow easing off in northern England and pushing further north into Scotland, albeit fizzling out as it does so. Anywhere from sort of the Midlands southwards, we're just looking at rain, although maybe a few snowflakes through parts of Midlands, East England on the leading edge of this rain band before it quickly transitions back to rain and that's going to fall onto cold surfaces, so there may be an ice risk early tomorrow morning across some parts of sort of central, southern, southeast of Britain before the temperature lifts up and any ice is very quickly melted and washed away. Right, so that's Snow Watch done. This afternoon, we're going to have a look at the weather next week, 10 days. So, come back to that. Haven't talked about snow depths, by the way, but I think up to 5 to 10 centimetres is possible through parts of northern England and southwest Scotland tomorrow. So, quite a substantial fall of snow for some areas. That is Snow Watch done, then. Come back this afternoon, we'll have a look at weather next week to 10 days. And then tonight, if we've got time, we're going to fit in a GFS Ensembles watch. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.